Hey everybody, christopherodd here. Welcome to a new playthrough of a game called Empire of Sin. This is developed by Romero Games, published by Paradox Interactive. And it's a strategy game in which we're trying to build up our mob empire set in the 1920s. Whole bunch of different characters to choose from that we're going to get into right away. I want to thank Paradox for sponsoring this first video. There's a link down below to check out if you want to purchase the game for yourself, which I think if you're a strategy fan, you're really going to like this. It gets pretty deep. There's a lot going on here. So let's start a new game. I'm also going to need you guys to join my mob. And that's going to come in multiple forms. I'm going to hire gangsters that I can rename for you guys. And I'm going to be able to rename buildings. Things like bars, strip clubs, hotels, casinos, you name it. So if you have good ideas for names of any of those things, drop them in the comments below and I'll be picking from those as we go through it. So first decision we need to make is who we are going to play as. Can't rename these guys once we're in. These are the head mob boss of a currently unknown gang that we're going to be developing over the course of our run. So let's go through these. They all have different boss abilities. They have some empire bonuses, and then they have diplomatic bonuses. Now, without knowing the full scope of the game, we're just going to kind of take a character that we think is interesting and go from there and hope that we can work those bonuses to our advantage. So we won't go through and read every single one of these right now because that'll take us a long time, but I'll go through all the characters so you can get an idea and just pause if you see it, something that you want to read more of. So this is Joseph Saltis from the Saltis gang. We have Stephanie St. Clair from the Card Sharks. We've got Alphonse Capone. You know him, you love him. I feel like he'll probably be one of the most popular picks for most players early on. He runs a gang called the Outfit. His boss ability is Rain of Fire. Fire a stream of bullets over the highlighted area. Anyone caught in the area of attack is suppressed and will take damage when they move. It's pretty good.
I'm Frankie Donovan. Who the fuck are you?
Frankie Donovan. He's just, you know, if I was Irish and a little bit more angry, that's who I would be. And this is going to be the person that we're choosing for our run. You can see his knuckles are a little bit red there. He's got a pretty solid little club that he's cool. He's a good guy. Unleashes a flurry of devastating melee strikes against your enemy. Every kill renews your fury and restores your AP, but causes you to become exhausted. Empire bonuses, brewery production rates increased by 5%. Speak easy word of mouth cost minus 20%. And diplomatic bonuses, bygones be bygones, negative effects with other factions from previous wars minus 50%. So we'll see what type of impact these have long term. We have Angelo Jenna from the Jenna crime family.
Goldie Garneau, the pleasure is all yours.
Goldie Garneau from the Fortune Tellers.
I'm ready.
Sai Wing Mok from Hip Sing Tong.
Maggie Dyer, at your service.
Maggie Dyer from the White City Circus.
You and me, we're gonna clean up this town.
Another Irishman, Dean O'Banion from the North Side Mob. He's half Irish, half American.
Good choice.
Salazar Reyna from the Los Rios de la Llorona.
You and I can do plenty of business together.
Mr. America, Daniel McKee Jackson, the Vice Kings.
How's it going, kid?
We got Frank Reagan from Reagan's Colts.
Good choice.
Mabel Riley from the Alley Cats.
Soy la reina de Chicago.
And Elvira Duarte from Los Luceros.
Good choice.
You can see there's a lot of different options that you can start with. My advice, just pick one that you think is cool and roll with it. Try to make it work. So we're going to go with Frankie Donovan of the Donovans. Now, I'm going to leave this at default, except I'm actually going to bump this up to underboss difficulty. The reason I'm doing this is in the tutorial that I played through, I felt combat was a little bit easy, and it probably just is because it's early game, but I'm going to boost this hoping that it makes combat a little bit more difficult and has some consequence in there. We'll leave everything else as default and just go from here. Wish me luck. Let's begin. There will be a tutorial that we'll be going through, and I'll obviously show that to you guys so that we're all on the same page. There's a lot of different resources to manage. There's diplomacy involved.
Looking for me, Patty.
We'll get into it all. Who are you calling a Patty, you Mick?
Who are you calling a paddy, you Mick?
Andy is my name. Your brooch is a bit much, in my opinion.
Is that right?
My mother gave it to me. Reminds me of home.
It'd do that all right. Did she give you the black eye as well?
Watch it. Why, you after one yourself?
Why? Are you after one yourself?
You're obviously not sleeping properly, packed into one room with 10 other paddies. Look, there's a boarding house a few blocks south of here. I can give you the name.
Do you know exactly where I'm resting my head? Well, I don't know about that. I have lodgings.
I have lodgings. It's work I'm after.
Do you have a trade?
Well, I got some skills with a hammer, or are we looking to make some money? Both. Looking to make some money.
I'm looking to make some money. Chicago seems like the place to do it. Then I can hire tradesmen to do the dirty work for me.
It's a fine place to make a home, all right. Tis a far cry from Kilmaine. And I suppose you're looking to avoid a chat with His Majesty's people too, aye? No need to be coy, Frankie boy.
Okay. You watch your tone.
Watch your tone.
I've been waiting to see you since you waded ashore. Frankie Donovan fought in the Rising, absconded across the Atlantic to avoid going up against the wall. I heard you were arrested for, loitering and sauntering in Boston.
Well, I don't know if that's true.
I was framed.
I'm sorry about your brother Tom. I heard he died in the fighting.
It was what he wanted.
Are you still looking to help the cause?
I'm here, aren't I? God's gonna help me.
If the cause will help me for a change.
A man after my own heart. Come here then. There'll be a fella coming over from home in a few weeks about a crate of Tommy guns for the lads at home. He'll have the other half of this $5 bill, and you'll have to mind him while he's here. Sure, you'll be like a native then yourself.
Crate of Tommy guns wouldn't be bad. What do we do in the meantime?
Okay. What do I do in the meantime?
We need a place to store the guns, and there's a few fellas setting up a speak the next street over. Far be it from me to interfere with free market capitalism and the great American experiment, but fuck them. I want them gone. 2 birds, 1 stone. You clear them out, and maybe you can set up a brewery to hide the weapons. And I'll give you cash for the public service.
Ooh, now, okay. There's certain checks that come into play. And by the way, this heavy dialogue does not happen very frequently once we get into the game. This is mostly for story setup and background of the character that you choose. And then based on some of the attributes that they have, you're going to get some of these opportunities to, in this case, persuade or intimidate, or there's a bunch of other things that can happen. Sounds like a lot of work. Give me $600. I might be able for it.
Sounds like a lot of work. But give me cash, and I might be able for it.
All right. Christ almighty. Only because of your work for the Republic.
Let's shake on it.
Let's shake on it, so.
Fucking hell. You'll fit right in Chicago.
See you when I see you.
See you when I see you.
Frankie finds himself on the streets of Chicago, streets that will soon belong to him. If everything goes according to plan, yes. All right. Welcome to the Empire of Sin tutorial. Show me the ropes.
Welcome to Chicago. Let's have a look around.
So you can obviously just move around. This stuff's pretty basic. You can rotate your camera, but just wait, because you can get pretty zoomed out here. And if I keep going, oh, it's not going to let me yet. I'm a little ahead of myself. Let's move over here for now.
Chicago is a dangerous place, and in order to survive, you're gonna need to learn how to fight. Fortunately, I know right where you can find one.
Okay, so let's head in here to the Berghoff. The speakeasy belongs to the Meat Packers.
I'm on it.
We're gonna get right into some
This
early
joint belongs
combat.
to Ronnie O'Neill. He calls himself the boss of the Meat Packers gang. His thugs aren't going to know what hit them.
So straight away, we're gonna ambush this and jump into combat. It's gonna be pretty basic, but that's okay to start.
In Empire of Sin, combat is turn-based. The queue of characters waiting to take their turn is above, and the turn order is decided by a character's initiative stat. If enemies are allied with a boss, that boss is also shown under their portrait.
So you'll notice we have 150 health on Frankie Donovan. These guys have 41 health. The bosses that you pick at the beginning are OP. That's the point, because if they die at any point in the playthrough, game over. So these guys are tankier, they have better abilities, and of course, as you level them, we'll get to unlock new things as well. So this is his special here called Unleash Fury.
The action bar is below. In combat, you can move or choose an action from the action bar. Some actions require a target. It's your turn, so fire a shot if you've got a target. Choose another action or move into cover.
So the combat works very similar to something like XCOM. You can even expand these things to see your hit chances and what's impacting that, your crit chances, what have you. But this is our special. So we're gonna go in, we do 40 to 45 damage times 4. There's bonus damage that we can do as well. And if we kill, then we're gonna restore AP and reset the ability's cooldown. But remember, when we pick the character, it says that he's gonna become exhausted after that. We're still gonna do it, because it's basically, against these early guys, basically a guaranteed kill, and then we still have our 2 actions here to use. So let's go ahead and throw this down.
Come here to me.
So he does the 4 attacks, all of them crit because we're really pissed off.
There has 2 action points, or AP. Generally, each action takes 1 AP. Extended moves, special weapons, and some abilities take 2 AP. Choose an action below to see how many AP it requires.
And certain guns impact this as well. Like if you're shooting with a pistol, you can actually shoot twice, whereas most guns, as soon as you shoot it, will end the turn. I'm just going to go ahead and try and turn down the music a tad. I love the music in this game. It's really good, but I just want to make sure that we can clearly hear the voices. So we only have one other guy way over here. I don't think I'm going to be able to get into a decent position and do much.
Will do. Not about
But we'll just grab, like, we'll drop an Overwatch here. You can see the cone. It's an Overwatch that we have to quote unquote aim, but the highlighted tiles are the ones that will trigger it. So let's set this up. This guy's likely going to come towards us. Nice shot. Let's see if he fires back at all. Don't think so.
Using cover is vital to your survival. Cover is provided by the environment. Walls, cars, big objects, etc. Cover can be full cover, represented by a full shield.
So that's pretty straightforward.
Cover, represented by a half shield. You can be flanked by the enemy and lose all of the cover benefits. So, be careful. Got it? Good. Get rid of these guys and the place is yours.
Okay, cool. In terms of other abilities that we have, this is our basic attack. So you can see here, we're going to have a 99% chance to hit. Now the reason, and you'll notice this right away, Frankie Donovan and any boss have really good aim, but the other guys that we pick up will not have as, let's say, keen of an eye. So these guys, as I say, they're OP and they're supposed to be. This marksmanship skill is what I'm referring to. Super strong on these guys. This is a single action revolver, so we could fire this twice, which we will do. We'll likely kill him on the first one. I just want to show you the other things in here. We have reload ability. We have a melee attack if we want it. Let's say we're out of bullets. We don't want to reload for whatever reason. We could go ahead and just melee attack. Here's our Unleash Fury. We don't have any valid targets because we can't get close enough. We could use this. We could continue using it, but you'll see here that we are exhausted. So this lasts for one more round. I think it's 2 rounds in total. You lose 20% on your melee damage. You lose movement and your minus 50 melee, basically aim. So it's much harder to hit. So you can't just keep going around whacking, killing. So we have to wait for that to come off before we'd use this again. Overwatch, which we saw. We have Hunkering Down, which you probably know if you've ever played anything like XCOM. This gives you a defensive bonus, but also reduces your chance to be crit by almost 100. So you have to be really unlucky for that to happen. You have a first aid kit, and then you have delay of turn. So let's just go ahead and take the shot.
They got me.
He's gone.
Yeah, that's what I'm fucking talking about.
Now, this is cool. a lot of RNG in this game for rewards that you're going to find in combat. You find a little bit of money sometimes. This impacts your faction standings, obviously. You'll notice there's Bureau of Investigation, Bureau of Prohibition, the Meat Packers, which is another mob, and then you have the Chicago Police. So a bunch of different people that we are interfacing with, but there's more because there's other mobs out there that we haven't met yet. We got a crowbar. You can hover to see what these things do, what their value is. These are both melee weapons, obviously. And if you look at the damage types, it's a little bit of a higher range on the knuckles. And then there's other bonuses near the bottom. So the knuckles have a 10% chance to knock enemies back and a 30% chance to crit. Crowbar, 15% chance to knock enemies back and 30% chance to crit. So it depends. Do you want to go for that slightly higher damage range, or do you want to go for the higher knockback? Whatever. We'll take it all,
Win a racket,
and we'll sort it out.
Options. Let's take this place over and make it ours.
So we have the opportunity to take it over, ransack, smash up, or raise. Ransack, you're basically looting. Takes a lot of time for this to happen, 25 days. Smashing it up destroys the building and disables it. And then you can raise it. You need a demolitionist class, though. Let your demolitionist permanently destroy the building, and this will remove the building not only from your own control, but from every other faction in the game. So if for whatever reason, a bunch of factions are fighting over the same building, you could raise it and just say like, good luck, see you guys later, peace out. And nobody gets it. But we're going to take over, and early on, we're going to take over a lot because we need to start building up income. So we're going to take it.
And let's make this a speakeasy. Taking a place over costs less than buying it outright. And it's free to keep the racket type the same.
Yeah, so this is really important. If we take over a brewery, a speakeasy, a brothel, a casino, a hotel, and we want to keep it as the same type, then it's free. It's very cost efficient to do that. And money isn't super easy to come by early on. So I would advise we probably just take the speakeasy, even if this wasn't a tutorial. But let's go ahead and start it. So what do we rename these? We could rename our buildings. We could rename our people. This is a bar. You know what? Let's just call this Cheers, obviously. But again, when you guys have suggestions, I'll start throwing those into buildings that we're going to be taking over really quickly.
Now this racket's yours, and that's how it's done. You want something? Take it. You're gonna need some guards to keep your speakeasy safe, so open up the racket screen. You got 4 different ways you can class up the joint, starting with security. The information panel to the right shows your security's current state and what you'll get in the next upgrade. Select upgrade to go to the next level.
So I just want to for a second take a look at all this information that's happening just because we're investigating this one bar. And there's like tons out there that we need to manage. So you can see it's going to get pretty deep pretty quick. But we want to upgrade our security. Currently, we're paying $1 for upkeep and we're getting plus 25 security. The next upgrade level, level 2, doubles the upkeep and doubles the security. You can see total number of guards, external 1, internal 2. Total number of guards, 5, external 2, internal is 3. This comes into play if another faction or mob decides to attack this place. These are the number of guards that will fight on your side, which makes a pretty significant difference. So anyways, let's go ahead and upgrade this. You can also look at the other types of upgrades, which we'll get into soon. Let's go.
You can rush the upgrade by selecting the rush button. Go ahead and do that now.
Now, normally it would take 25 days, and you can see what date it is up here. The days pass, I don't know exactly what it is, but it's like 1 day every, I don't know, 30 seconds or so, once you're just in the game. So the time does pass fairly quickly, but we're going to rush it here. It's expensive to do it, but we have to, so.
Since you got a stage, get yourself a band. Upgrading ambience improves your draw. Higher draw means more customers and more money. Select upgrade to add a band.
Let's add a band. And you can see again here what this is doing. Your current upgrade, I feel this is like so clean, such a nice implementation. You can see where you're at and what you're going to get. So double the upkeep, basically double the income percentage, and add value. Slightly better ambience draws, and adds a basic band, increases draw. Boom. And we're gonna rush this too.
Band too. I'm sure they're used to it. Select rush.
All right, cool. Look, we have an actual functioning band
Looks
here.
Great. Now,
In
let's
Cheers.
get out of here. You got other work to do.
Okay, let's
Right
motor.
away. Not a problem.
Now you're probably looking at the other
gunfire
interface
attracted
options,
some
and
of
there's
the
a lot,
local
but
criminal talent, and they're
we'll get
looking
to
for
it.
work. As your empire grows, you'll gain access to bigger and better hired guns too.
okay. So our first two, we got Hugh Miller and Maria Rodriguez. Let's talk to her. We're gonna hire her up front. Costs 0 right now. Her monthly take is 2% of earnings. So it's really important that we like the people that we're working with because they take a lot of money.
Notice that your crew members have a take. Their price for working with you. The take is based on a percentage of your total earnings. In general, the better they are, the higher the take. Gangsters range from professional hitmen to shockingly wayward criminals. They have opinions about the people they work with, and their personalities and traits develop over time. You'll find gangsters looking for work out in the world and in the Black Book. We'll take a
Black
look
Book's
at
up
that
here.
later. As you become more powerful, you'll gain access to more hardened, skilled gangsters. Now, hire your second crew member.
So we're also going to hire Hugh Miller. And we should actually just take a quick look at some of the things popping up here. So it talks about their take, their traits, which we'll be able to see on a different screen in more detail. Their relationships, all of these people in the Black Book and all these people for hire either like, dislike, love, or hate other people within the Black Book. And so as you build up your empire, it's ideal to have a group that likes each other, but that's not always going to be possible. And you can see here his relationship. So he's got 2 enemies and 2 friends, and then he's got certain effects, which is nervous reflexes, but we'll get into that. Tons of detail on all of these different characters.
You can count on me.
Create a squad. We just drag over it, and then we can right click and move them around.
Just in time, too. Your new speakeasy isn't gonna last long without alcohol. It's the resource that makes your world go round. Just so happens Ronnie O'Neill's got a brewery close by.
Just so happens.
Let's take it over. Zoom out to the world map to see where it is.
Okay, so we can zoom out, and if you pay attention here, this is going to show you like the progress towards zooming out so you're not accidentally going. Or you can just push X, and you'll get way out here. And you can see like, there's a lot going on. We are just chilling down here right now in South Loop. We'll get into this screen in a little bit as well. But there's a lot to manage and take over here, so we're going to get to work. It wants us to go to this brewery that's owned by the meat packers. You can see like this is their icon up here. Other stuff down here, we don't know who they are yet, so we have to go and meet them. But let's go to here. We'll zoom back in. What? You can play a lot from that outside map too, by the way. Oh, hello. Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
The meat packers were expecting you. Hopefully, they've also expected their funerals. Let's take them out.
Now, you got to be careful because certain factions will just attack you on sight or ambush you. So combat can kind of happen anywhere, not just when you go to attack a building. So you always got to be prepared. Now, the reason that she went off like this, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit and show you guys something. Maria Rodriguez has a couple of different traits here. I think it's hair trigger. 100% chance to activate hair trigger whenever this person's... Oh, this is not the one. This is not the one. What does she have that gives us... Yeah, here. Shoot first. They immediately go into Overwatch at the start of combat. The itchy trigger finger has saved them more times than it's damned them. So she gets this Overwatch as soon as combat starts. And in that case, she hit, which was great. You don't get to control who she's attacking or anything, but it's pretty powerful. Anyways, we only need a couple of shots here. I don't think we have to do anything too crazy. These guys are very basic again. See you later.
Yeah, that's what I'm fucking talking about.
So we got a hammer and we got smelling salts. Smelling salts temporarily increase your movement by 5 and initiative by 30 for 2 rounds. Initiative is what determines your turn order. You can see again the factions that hate us and the money that we got. And of course, we got a hammer here. We don't really have a melee-focused class yet.
Guns to take out Ronnie and his guards. Luckily, the black market's got everything you need. Open the black market by selecting the shop icon at the top of the screen. Now that you're in the shop window, it's time to get yourself some provisions. Check the stats and effects of any item in the shop in the right window pane. If you want a recommendation, you can't go wrong with a first aid kit.
You're absolutely right. So we can come in here and we can sell stuff that we're not using. We can buy stuff. I like that you can just do this at any time. You don't have to go to a specific place. You can sort it by guns, melee. These are not all grenades. These are, I would call this like consumables. You have ammo here and then you've got armor. As an example, a Stender grenade. It's very rare, very high value, but you do a lot of damage. So it makes sense that it's pretty expensive. We'll go ahead and buy, let's say, 2 first aid kits. You can see he's got a certain inventory as well that changes every 90 days. So something to keep in mind.
Now take over Ronnie's brewery to let him know who's boss.
So we will do that. I just want to go ahead and equip. Okay, these guys already have one. So we bought extra. That's fine. So now we have 2 in storage and we can see which ones are equipped as well. Let's do it.
Not a problem.
So how many are we dealing with here? 3? There's her Overwatch thing triggering. Breweries are well guarded and this is a tough fight. Well, we'll see, won't we? There's only 2 of them. Should be okay. We'll go in with the Unleashed Fury. It's a really solid opener. He might be able to just clean these guys up himself. Actually, if we would have went for him, we'd be in a better position because we would have the flank on this guy. But his aim is really good anyway, so you can see here. Because this guy's in full cover, if we would have taken him out first, we'd have better shots. We still have these 2 shots now because we had our actions refunded because we killed with the Unleashed Fury. So you can see how powerful that is for a boss special attack. Almost killed him himself. Hugh is using a shotgun, so we kind of want to get a little bit closer range. One of the things I really love is that it shows you what your percentage is going to be before you move. You can see the line of sight indicator, you can see the percent to hit, and you can see how that is affected depending on where you move to.
Right on.
We could, if we wanted to, we could swap weapons. Because he's also carrying a pistol, and then his pistol chance is slightly better, and that's really all we need. So that'll work. See you later.
That's what I'm fucking talking about.
Our guy swears a lot, and it's awesome. We got an M19 pistol. Let's take a look at this.
Take this racket over too. Breweries are critical to your empire. Each brewery can supply alcohol to a small number of rackets. Select Takeover to make this one yours.
Okay, let's do it. Brewery is 0 because it's the same type.
It'll cost you to re-outfit a racket as something else. Select Brewery.
Yeah, let's do it. We'll call this Pilsner Brewery. It's a horrible, horrible beer from Saskatchewan, Canada. If you don't know where that is.
Frankie fucking Donovan. You've been taking my rackets, and I ain't too happy about it.
Oh, well, thank you for using my Christian middle name, Ronnie.
Fuck off, funny man. Did you think it would be all that easy? When you decide you want to talk face to face, you know where to find me.
Yeah, Christmas has come early. All right, Ronnie O'Neill has summoned you for a sit down. This is cool.
Outside the brewery.
Okay, let's leave the brewery that we now own.
It's already done.
Sit-downs with another boss is serious business. They usually take place in a boss's racket, but they can take place in safe houses too. Zoom out to the world map to find Ronnie's safe house.
Okay, let's see. Zooming out far, not too far. So his safe house is really close. Obviously, we're taking over these places all around him, and you can imagine where this might be leading. But let's go. Let's do our sit down. I don't think it's going to show us here. Oh, it does. Great. So sit downs, they don't last forever. So when the game is actually in full swing, we're trying to manage all these different things and our places are getting attacked and we got problems over here and people are alcoholics and there's a lot of issues to manage. These guys might want to have a sit down and you can see how the days are ticking down time-wise. So it looks like maybe you go through a day every 10 seconds, which is kind of nice. But you got to handle these things if you want to meet with them right away. So,
Frankie, how long has it been? Boston in 17? I really hoped I'd never see your ugly mug again.
Link, bro. Listen.
Skip the bullshit, would you?
Right. I'll give you this, Irish. You got backbone. I don't need any more enemies in this town. You come work for me, you can manage those rackets you took.
I don't think so.
I didn't cross a fucking ocean to work for Ronnie O'Neill.
Looks like you came all this way to die.
Is that right?
We'll see.
Okay. So this is going to be a tougher fight.
Battle in the literal
Of course.
sense. To win at this game, you need to be the last one standing. Take Ronnie out, and his empire is all yours.
On it. Now, for me at least, there's pros and cons to having this initiative system. Think something like XCOM Chimera Squad recently. There's a bunch of games now that are doing initiative-based combat. And while it's cool because it keeps things varied, you can't have like a set plan that you execute every time. It takes away some of the control. Like I can't just go and use this guy and position him and set things up. We have to work with this first. So there's pros and cons. Now, I wouldn't mind going to smash this guy down. I don't think we'll be able to kill him because he's got 150 health just like we do. But we can try. Depends. We have 60% chance to crit. Yeah, it could happen. Even if we miss one, it's going to be a decent chance. And maybe we just clear out the boss right away.
I'm on it.
But if we don't kill, we don't get our actions back. There's 1, 2. Oh, beautiful. Oh, we missed the last one. Oh, that hurts. That hurts. Now, he will use like special attacks. I think because it's a tutorial right now, he's probably not going to do anything too crazy. But I would like to prioritize killing him. I just don't know that I'm going to be able to pull that off. Do we have anybody behind us? We don't. And we have a good shot on him. 65 there with the pistol. We actually should be looking to... I can't swap this out here. We should have swapped weapons before. But let's go ahead and swap this to the shotgun. We have the shotgun blast, which hits people, targets everybody in an area. There's still a chance to hit. But because we're not... There's only one guy, so it doesn't matter. Let's take the shot. That's an unfortunate whiff there, Mr. Miller. It's an unfortunate whiff. Now, she's using, I guess, a Tommy gun or a submachine gun. It's a burst fire. Fire multiple rounds at a single target. This action incurs a small aim penalty. So you just naturally have less aim with this type of thing. Notice, too, like, this is about the sweet spot. 56%. If we go a little bit closer, then we lose some effectiveness, and we go further away, we lose some effectiveness as well.
Understood.
And we can see that all broken down in the hit percentage. So marksmanship was just our basic chance to hit on each individual mobster, impacts it, and then the range bonus of the weapon. So we'll see if we hit. It's 12 to 20 times 3. It's 56% times each attempt. So some can hit and some won't. It's not all or nothing. So we only hit one of them, which is pretty unfortunate. Thankfully, they're just as bad as we are. That's gonna hurt. That's pretty lucky. 2 flank shots. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so you'll see this is on cooldown for a while. We can finish this guy, though. So the boss is down. I'm going to actually focus on just taking cover here. He's bleeding out. I could execute him. So there are ways to bring people back up. Done. I hope that they don't try to do it, but I'm just going to get into some better cover. Let's see. How do I want to handle this? I would like to make my way to the door, but there's not really a clean way for me to do that. 50-50 this. We'll flip that coin. We got him. And the shotgun does some knockback as well. So he's down to 2 health. Pushed him out of cover. And let's actually swap weapons here. Let's do this. Very nice. Nice thing about switching the pistols for a lot of options is that it only uses 1 action. It doesn't end your turn. So if I used her submachine gun there that we had before and we shot that first, we wouldn't be able to move. Let's do something like this.
I'm on it.
Move up to the globe for cover, and then we have access here on the next round. Okay. They decided not to do a whole lot. Let's just take our double shots here. I'm not going to worry about executing because it takes an action. I'd rather just kill these guys off if we can. So close. Guys are just clinging. There's not a whole lot I can do here. Really isn't. We can just move up here so we're in better position for the next round. And Maria, we do actually have a shot on this guy. Do I have a shot from here? I have 2 44s if I want it. I'll take that actually, instead of the moving in for 1 better chance.
What the fuck?
I love the call-outs, man. They get so mad. They're very vulgar. I don't know if all of the mobs are the same. All right. We could take him out now. Here we go. This is fine.
Sure
Let's go
thing.
here. We'll take the full cover from the guy down at the end unless he moves over to flank us. We should be able to clean this up. And then Hugh. Let's move in here to the full cover. We'll drop a little Overwatch action down at the end here. See if he pops out. And then 39 only. 44 if we want it again. I'm going to take the full cover behind these chairs. These are very sturdily built chairs. We'll Overwatch this as well. Okay, not bad. We're in full, but he's close. Okay, good. So, can I even get there? Might as well do the execution now.
Of course.
Looks badass, too. Jeez. Oh my god, we have a matching crazy laugh. I don't know if that's good or bad. That's probably good. Can I shoot him from here?
Understood.
I got a chance. It's not great. 25. That's fine. Now we'll take our double shots at 60%. There we go. Okay. So, although not super challenging, this is a tutorial boss.
Talking about.
You can see that had we not totally clobbered that guy at the beginning, it would have been a little bit more difficult. But the boss that we chose has a very powerful opening attack, which helped a lot. So we get a lot of money here. Notice the faction standings drop quite a bit more. I think because this is like their safe house. We have a zip gun, handgun, 20% chance to crit, 70 on the Overwatch angle, and 9 on the Overwatch range. Very nice. Okay. We killed Ronnie O'Neill. Yeah, we did. They had it coming. And if you go and you kill somebody at their safe house, you get the entire empire. But not all the safe houses are going to be like this, and you'll get overrun. You'll die if you just do it right away. Cool.
Congratulations, you got your first safe house. Defend it at all costs. Your safe house gives you both defensive and offensive benefits. Like everything else, your safe house needs security. It also has a small brewery in case the feds shut down everything else. You can upgrade as you need to, but to win at Sin, you're going to need more than that.
It also has a small brewery. So if all of your breweries got shut down, you could still make a little bit of alcohol, which you need to fill your speakeasies to sell to people. I think you need them for casinos, maybe. There's a bunch of ways that you need to be making alcohol
Right
and
now, you'll need
supplying
to do
it.
legwork, but eventually, you'll get an underboss to do your bidding, while you command things from here. One last thing. To keep tabs on your empire, open the Empire Overview screen.
Okay, this is gonna get pretty intense.
This is your empire at a glance. Everything you need is here, and it goes pretty deep. You can see things like who runs the neighborhood, what people are drinking versus what you're serving, what others in the neighborhood are up to. You can see opportunity too. Optimize alcohol, get an underboss and an advisor, add some synergy bonuses, or even a hotel. Have a look around. When you're ready, select the Racket tab.
Okay, so let's just take a look at this. First of all, South Loop neighborhood, who owns it? Nobody. The top spot's up for grabs right now. Talks about prosperity, it's mediocre. It talks about what drinks they prefer. And for some cases, you need to develop your breweries at higher levels in order to provide the type of alcohol that people want. This is the total number of customers. Currently, we have none, but that's going to change very quickly. Talks about earnings, talks about rackets that are happening. There's 44 rackets right now. We have 2 because we just took them over. There's some that are derelict that are available, 28. So we still have to beat thugs to get it, but it's pretty easy battles. But then the other 14 are owned by rival mobs. This talks about the synergies that we have. This is also showing over here. We'll get more into that a little bit later. When you have a hotel, that impacts your synergies. This talks about our average security of all your rackets, your average deflect, your average suspicion, and then your status, which is currently risky, because we're new, right? That makes a lot of sense. Shows our neighborhood bonuses from the mob boss that we picked at the beginning. Racket upgrade time is plus 5%. Word of mouth upgrade cost is minus 5%. Empire bonuses, brewery production rate is faster, which is very good. Speakeasy word of mouth cost is minus 20%, which is also going to be quite helpful. This breaks down our alcohol production. This talks about our customers' earnings, which we saw over here, rackets. Very, very helpful and very in-depth and can go as deep as you want.
The Racket tab shows every racket you know about, including those owned by others. You can see what level of upgrade they're at and compare your own. Now, select Customer.
Let's do it.
The Customer tab shows how well you do in filling your rackets with customers. You can increase customers by upgrading your word-of-mouth advertising, locating next to other rackets, or improving your ambience. Next, open the Finance screen.
Now notice here, like, this hasn't been upgraded yet because we haven't had a chance for people to even come into our bars yet. But once it does, it'll show us like what their average spend is. You can see how you compare to everybody else and try to manipulate your ambience and word of mouth to get you to where you need to be. Let's go finance.
The Finance tab gives you an overview of everything you're making and spending. Last, select Alcohol.
Okay, let's go to the alcohol tab.
The Alcohol tab gives you an overview on what's being made and where. You can see your upgrades here as well, and how they can be improved.
Hit F8 to head back to the safe house.
Looks like you just got a mission. Get a better look at what you need to do by opening the mission screen. Here,
Okay.
you can see a list of active missions, as well as each mission's requirements and descriptions. You can toggle completed missions by selecting the Closed tab. Your active mission will also appear on the main screen.
You got it.
Close the mission screen. You need to get moving. Get a crew. Get rackets. Fortify them. Make allies and enemies. And take them out. That's how you own this city. Go get them, Kingpin. I'll see you around.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. Now, this has like been a very, very basic introduction. There will still be tutorials that pop up as we go, but we have a little bit more freedom to do what we want now. I'm gonna hit P to pause the game.
What now? Well, that's up to you, boss. You've got the tools to take over this city. How you do it is up to you. Take a look at your mission journal to get started. You've got to take this city piece by piece. If you want a suggestion, You can start by taking control of this neighborhood first.
Absolutely.
Good luck, Kingpin.
All right. Okay, so he talked about this brick by brick. We're going to try and get 5 rackets. We'll gain notoriety from this. This has an impact on a lot of things that we'll get into right away. And this will give us a little bit of cash. This is not a large amount. Most of the cash is going to come from our ongoing earnings. Every week that we make earnings is just going to start to rev up. Right now we're losing money, but that'll eventually change. Notice our crew is currently at 0. That's also going to change. They're going to start taking some money from us. I want to go into the black book for a second.
The black book. From here, you can see which gangsters are available for hire, their relationships, their profession, and how much notoriety you need to hire them. You'll notice that some gangsters are grayed out. That's because they won't work for just anybody. You've got to gain notoriety, knock over some rackets, and maybe take out a few thugs, and you'll be well on your way to increasing notoriety and getting bigger and better gangsters. Select a gangster to learn more about them.
Okay, so let's say these. So you can see here, this is our first hire, Maria Rodriguez. This is our second hire, Hugh Tank Miller. You can see the lines being drawn towards people that they hate, people that they like. Yeah, so who would we want to learn? Let's learn more about Gibby Willard, a demolitionist. Note as well, hired gun. These are class types. Demolitionist, enforcers. We've got medics or doctors. We have con artists. I think those are all of them. Yeah, that looks pretty much it. Let's maybe look at this guy.
Hey, there are 3
as a
key
con
things
artist.
You've got to know about every gangster. The first thing is loyalty.
So here's his current loyalty.
Is a measure of their time with you. The longer they're with you, the higher their loyalty goes. The higher their loyalty, the lower their cost, and the less likely they are to flip if the cops get to them.
Got it.
The second thing is morale.
Right here?
Morale is a measure of how satisfied they are. Morale goes up and down depending on how things are going. When an enemy gets clipped, morale is going to go up. The more satisfied a gangster is, the better they perform. The third thing is traits.
Right
Traits
here?
are reflective of a gangster's experience before they met you, but they evolve through gameplay too. Traits affect all kinds of things, from their actions to their interactions with others. Some even affect your entire empire.
Yeah, so there's a lot of traits that can happen, as you've by now noticed. And it's going to be difficult to remember everybody's traits, or at least every one of everybody's traits, but there will be some certain key ones. Like, as an example, he's a coward, so 25% chance to run away if a team member flees. There's a bunch of different ways that team members can flee from combat, but if one happens to do so, he's got a chance to peace out too, and then all of a sudden you're down 2 people, which kind of sucks. He's got something called Afraid. This person has a chance to flee from combat if someone on their crew dies. So somebody goes down, there's a pretty decent chance that this guy is going to be out of here. He's got Happy, though, which has a bonus to his marksmanship. He's Religious, which means extra persuasion, leadership, and morale gain. This one looks really good. Second generation, a lot of morale and loyalty gaining, which is super huge. So he would be a decent person.
On the gangster's rep sheet, so explore different areas to get more information. If you want to hire this gangster, select hire.
Now, we currently have some money, which is, you know, it's nice. He would be a con artist for us. I would still look to hire more people to have all these different types. I have never hired a con artist in my pre-playing at all, so I don't know exactly what he does, but you could see that demolitionists have other benefits other than just in combat, where you can then raise buildings, as we pointed out earlier. So these classes go beyond just what's happening in the fights. But if you look over here, so this gives a closer breakdown on the traits. This is the upgrade system. So once they start gaining levels, then you'll be able to pick from each of these tiers. Once you pick from a tier, you can't pick another one from that tier. Then here is a biography and life lessons, backgrounds, all of that kind of stuff. We can, of course, rename these guys too. So if you guys are interested in becoming one of these mobsters, then again, leave your names down below and I'll just be picking from that list. And if people die, people die. Hopefully that doesn't happen a lot, but we'll go from there. I kind of want to hire this guy. Here's the problem, okay? I know that right now we're going to need to spend a lot of money on taking over rackets. And combat early should be pretty straightforward. So I'm going to hold off on hiring another person right now until we get our empire, a little bit more up and running. Notice here, there's this special kind of relationship with this person. So these guys are in a relationship, which is cool. Some people have that, some people don't. You can see here, he just likes and hates, whatever. And these can change over time. We'll get more into that a little bit later. Here we've got us, we're the current boss. We can have an underboss who will reduce the wages paid to gang members based on their leadership. You need to choose who to assign. You can have an advisor, will boost the loyalty of gang members based on their persuasion. Then you can have lieutenants. You must have a safe house in the neighborhood to assign a lieutenant. There's other stuff that comes into that. And then you have other associates. When you're first hired to a gang, gangsters are made as associates. You're a made gangster when they get their first kill. So kind of cool how that all plays out. And then they gain 40 loyalty when they get into this role. This is like super cool in my opinion. I love how deep this is. Okay, so we did pause it, but let's actually go outside. And where's the door? Here we go. Let's unpause. And we'll take a look around and we'll take over some rackets here. Okay, first things first. We'll leave this running so we can still earn some cash. We're shooting a lot with him, so we should probably see if we can get a better weapon on him. The zip handgun is 14 to 18, 15 to 19 crit. This is 14 to 17, 16 to 20. So this one only has a 6% crit chance. This is 20%. Plus, you can see the other benefits are similar. 70 Overwatch angle, 9 range, 6% to crit. And this has 70 angle, 9 range, 20% to crit. So we're going to go here, take this from storage, and he's got a better weapon now, which is beautiful. Okay, so if we move out, we've got another mission here started, the first step. Some nobodies are trying to set up a speak in a derelict nearby. Get rid of them and set up a brewery there instead. You can hide some weapons there for the fight back home, and you'll be able to make booze for your own enterprises too. Handy that. Clear out the thugs inside the derelict building. Clear out the derelict building. $1,000 as well. Let's see. This is way over here. So it's a good option. It's a good option because we're kind of doing two things. We need to take over these rackets anyways.
Of course.
Let's head down there and see what kind of problems we're going to be dealing with. We likely get attacked outside here, but I think we can handle it. Oh, we might be good. Let's talk to them first.
Not a bother.
We're not ready to open yet, but if you come back in a week, you'll find the best speak in town. Wait, you're not a cop, are you? Yes, actually, I am, Officer Donovan. You're all in serious trouble. Where's your fucking badge then, dickhead? So here again, we have an intimidation check right here on my chest. See, now we can do this the hard way, or... Nice. We were just trying to get ahead. Maybe there's something we can do to smooth this over. Yeah, anybody can make a mistake. What do you got in your pockets? Only 100. I guess that'll have to do. Cool, we'll take the $100. Now get out of here. Now, presumably, that has lowered the amount of defenses that these guys have as well. I don't know if these guys would fight or not.
No thanks.
But let's attack this and we'll take this over.
Hey, King.
Sure thing.
You want more pointers about how combat works in Empire of Sin?
Sure. I think we got it covered, but we'll just make sure that everyone's on the same page.
First, let's talk chance to hit. Every attack's accuracy depends on lots of things, like what kind of weapon you have equipped, your marksmanship level, and the enemy's defense. The default target for any attack will always be the one you've got the highest chance of hitting. Handy, ain't it?
So handy.
While in combat, both indoors and outdoors, you'll notice tiles that are highlighted along the edge of the combat area or around the door. These tiles are your exit points. Moving a character to one of these tiles will cause the escape action to appear on your action bar. Using this action will allow your characters to escape current combat and return safely to your safe house. When you or one of your crew is downed, there's a chance that you'll start bleeding out. When that happens, you'll have a limited amount of turns to get them back up, or they'll be gone for good. use a first aid kit, doctor's bag, or a mob doctor with the heal ability to get them back on their feet.
So there's another thing about the classes, like you can use the med kits and stuff, but if you have a mob doctor, then you can do additional healing besides just relying on those kits. So there's a decent variety in terms of classes, if you think about it.
Negative status effects, such as bleed or poison, can be removed in 2 ways. Mob doctors can use
Another good
heal
use for a
ability
mob
on
doctor.
themselves or on a target character. Or, if you've got a bandage, you can use it to remove a negative status effect from the active character or a target character. Just remember, the bandage is consumed upon use.
So this will be something to remember, because at some point, I'm sure, we'll get poisoned. I'll have a bandage and not think, oh, the bandage just removes a status effect. It's not just used for bleeding. So I'm going to try to remember that.
One last thing. If you get injured, you can heal yourself both in and out of combat using a first aid kit, doctor's bag, or a mob doctor's heal ability. If you're in combat, use the item or ability as an action to heal the injured crew member.
Okay, cool. So let's get to it. We've got, well, 1, 2, looks like just, no, 1, 2, 3, 4. So sometimes this bar can be a bit misleading. You can scroll through here to see all of the enemies, but if you just look at this, you're like, oh, there's only 3, but this guy is peeking in here. Okay, so we're going to start out with Unleashed Fury, obviously. Let's hopefully unleash it. I'll do it here so that we have some cover, unless, well, I could actually argue that this would be a decent option. These guys would have to come out here to see us, and then we still have 2 flank shots on this guy if we get this kill. Let's go for it.
Come here to me.
Give him the old whack there, Frankie. Frankie D. Man down. We got the exhaustion going. But we have our 2 shots here now. And we could move into cover, but I'm going to just stand here. We have 150 health. We're facing level 1 thugs, which is, they're pretty much nothing. However, saying that, things can and do go wrong. So bear that in mind. Let's swap our weapon here.
Understood.
We'll move up just a tad with Hugh and try and take this guy. 80%. Good. The knockback didn't hit this time. That's okay. 44. 59. I think. Oh, here we go. Beautiful. There we go. There we go. Come on. Okay, that's an oof, Maria. That's a big oof. Holy. Feel that one. Okay, be cool. Now, I've put myself way out here. It's a bit problematic. Can I see from here? I can't stand on that tile because he's on it. All right. Let's tuck into this corner here. It's going to be all I can really do. 80% to hit the one on the left, 55 to hit the one on the right. Let's do the shotgun blast. Oh, sick. And then we should be in a good spot. Oh, only 39. 79 here. Let's swap weapons again. 56. So you can see that's kind of her range with this thing. It is on a 3-shot burst. But being able to get her marksmanship up would prove huge benefits. And see, if we go to Unleash Fury right now, because of our exhaustion, our chance to hit is so low because we're at minus 50 melee, so we're only at 25 instead of the usual 75. Let's fire on that zip gun. Come on, 69. There's no way we missed that twice, right? 69. Nice.
Yeah, that's what I'm fucking talking about.
Okay, Hugh Miller sustained a serious injury during combat. He'll be out of commission for 16 days, and then he'll go to the safe house. That's unfortunate, to say the least. We have an herbal remedy here. That is kind of forcing me to hire somebody, so I'm going to do it. Let's do a takeover here, and because it's just a derelict building, we still have to pay. Let's do a speakeasy. These are like the main things that we're going to do early. These are just going to basically be bars that we're generating income from. We could do brothels. We could do casinos as well. But we'll start with speakeasies. We have +8 alcohol right now. So as we build these, that alcohol amount will be going down, and then we'll have to take breweries and try to keep that balance going. You can see our negative income is being impacted heavily because of our crew. So let's go. What do we want to name this bar? We'll call this Walty. We'll call this Wally Wallertons, after my French bulldog, Wally Wallerton. Wally Wallertons. Booze. Oh, I can't even go. Wally Wallertons. Done.
Hey, the first round's on me.
Message from Andy. Hey, you were supposed to turn this into a brewery. Whatever. We'll just use your other one. Yeah, we will just use another one. All right. So we got the rackets, some money there, some notoriety. No big deal. The notoriety takes a long time to
Looks
boost.
like you just got a new item. Head into the gangster's rep sheet to learn how to equip it. You've got 2 utility slots where you can hold items. Highlight an item to see what its effects are. You can see which items are available and which ones are being held by another crew. And that's how it's done. You can do the same thing with weapons too. But keep in mind that some professions won't have access to certain weapons right off the bat.
There we go. One of the cool things I love about this is you can see every little piece of notoriety and where they earned it, why they got it. See 10 notoriety for killing Ronnie O'Neill, that other mob boss. If you kill this with somebody else, then they are the ones that get the, oh wait, maybe not. Oh yeah, sorry. I'm confusing loyalty with notoriety. So forget that I said that. But it's nice that it breaks this down. Over here, it breaks down your morale. Sorry, that's where we got confused. But anyways, guys, thank you so much. Let's take a break here. I'm going to have to hire somebody because I don't want to be doing battles with 2 people. So why don't I go ahead and take this guy? I can pay the upfront cost. We're going to have a lot of work to do to get our crew up to, or a place up to earning money with this extra crew. But we're going to do it anyway. Okay? We're going to do it.
But sure.
We like to choose a talent. Yes, would I ever. Tier 1. Fire a warning shot at a target, causes their target to move away so we can get somebody out of cover maybe. Or throw a throwing knife. No, let's do this. Let's use a flush. I like that it's even named XCOM wise. We have tier 2 upgrade for Frankie Donovan. Regardless of the amount of damage you take, you're now guaranteed to bleed out. It's probably really good to have for a boss. Light-footed, so don't trigger Overwatch. Any character within 4 meters of you will bleed out instead of dying whenever their HP reaches 0. That could be good too, but being that he's a boss, let's go Survivor here. Also notice it takes a chunk of time to actually implement this skill. Maria Rodriguez, place a mark on your target. Marked targets have their defense reduced by 25%. Or sweep, stream of bullets that can hit anybody in an area of effect. Let's do a marked target thing if somebody's hard to hit in the back. And then lastly, we got our enforcer that is currently injured. He can taunt enemies, gaining 40% damage resistance, or suppress one target, giving 40% target chance reduction. Let's do this. Let's do the taunt with 40% damage resist. I like that.
Hot damn!
Very cool. Okay. We'll get into renaming all of these guys when you guys start giving your suggestions, and we'll go from here. At least we have 3. When he comes back from injury, we'll have another one, and we're just going to start taking places over right now. Brick by brick. We need to get 5 rackets. We'll do it. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, hit the link down below if you're interested yourself. I'll be pumping out these videos a lot in the next little while. Really appreciate Paradox again sponsoring this first episode. Hope you guys had fun. And yeah, we can go deep with this. I think this is going to be a super time. We'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.